Hello, welcome. Good to see everybody. If this is your first time here, welcome. Good to see you again. Alright, so in the previous videos, I think I spoke about briefly, I touched on workplace betrayal, and this book here does have interesting, how should I say, analogies regarding trust and loyalty. And the title of the book is Be True to Yourself, Are You a Loyal Friend? And in the previous video I was just talking about workplace betrayal. You can also find different stories in this book, and the title of this book is What Does Trust Mean to You? This book is available in any of the platforms that sells books. You can also find it in Amazon. Very easy. You can just go to Google and type what does trust mean to you, and then you can just put Suraya beside it, Suraya, and that should take you there. Okay, and if you just want to read about different people talking about their experiences of betrayal at the workplace, it's very easy to find. You can go straight to page 186. Is it 186? Yeah, page 186, and you can read different stories of what different people had to say about their experiences at workplace or other workplace betrayals. Okay, and with that being said, and I think the other story that I was going to talk about is about Lisa and Sam. Okay, and that is also another classic example of a workplace betrayal, but it's not in this book. So this is basically a true story, something that really happened. Okay, so Sam has been working with this company for a very long time. He's been there for about 8 years. Okay, and then one day as he was leaving work, somewhere in downtown, just by accident, those of you that are in Toronto, you know Union Station, you know how busy Union Station is. So they just met in Union Station, and it turns out that they had attended high school together. So they were so happy to see each other, exchanged number, and of course they stayed in touch. And then Lisa told Sam that she was looking for another job because where she was working, she wasn't happy. She's not getting along with her boss. So she told Sam to see if Sam can find her, something at their workplace. And remember, they haven't met, they haven't seen each other for over 10 years. Okay, but they were really good friends. They just lost touch. Okay, so Sam said fine. So Sam was able to talk to his boss, and lucky enough there was an opening, and of course they asked Lisa to apply. Okay, so Lisa applied, and of course she came into the interview. Thankfully she did really well, and she was hired. Okay, she was hired, and I think after 6 months in her role, because she was really good, she excelled a lot. The company had a lot of backlogs in their auditing department, and Lisa was able to clear that, and Lisa got promoted. Okay, so Lisa got promoted. She was now not really, she was like an assistant manager, but not in Sam's department. So she was so happy. Of course, she was telling everybody how Sam really helped her. And then in Sam's department, there was a managerial opening that she got interested. Of course, she was already working in her department as an assistant manager. So she applied. And of course, they gave her the position interim because the lady that was, I guess, hired for that position had to go for maternity leave. Okay, but one thing led to the other. The lady that went for maternity could not come back, and plus COVID hit, right? So then, of course, Lisa continued to work in that department as a manager. And unfortunately, Sam was not in any managerial position yet. Okay, so Lisa basically became Sam's manager. And then Sam wasn't happy with that because he wasn't comfortable because he was there for a very long time. So Sam decided to look for something elsewhere. So she told Lisa in confidence that, you know what, I've been here for a very long time, but I'm doing my job really well in this particular department. I feel like my managers don't want me to move forward because as long as I'm in this department, they don't have to worry about anything. I help with training, I do everything. So he told Lisa that he was looking for a job elsewhere. All right. And then, of course, he had told this to Lisa in confidence. Lisa goes and tells the human resources that, guess what? You guys need to start looking for someone because Sam is leaving. And remember, Sam is not yet hired. He just told her in confidence. The next day or so, Sam was called into human resources. They said, Sam, sorry, we heard that you are planning to leave, but we are going to make your job easier. We are letting you go. Okay? And when they did that, human resources, of course, they told Sam. And one of the ladies, when Sam, of course, went to park to clear his desk, one of the assistant human resources told Sam that, you know, I know you are leaving, but I want you to remember, don't tell your information to everybody. Someone came to human resources and said that you are looking for something. You are looking for a job. So please take this from me. Keep your information to yourself. So there and then Sam knew that the only person I told this was who? Was Lisa. So he confronted Lisa that, Lisa, why would you do that? I told you in confidence that I was looking for something. You found me in Union Station. You told me that you wanted a job. I spoke to my manager and you got hired, right? How could you go behind my back and report to human resources? I did apply for jobs, yes, but I'm not hired yet, right? So Sam was so upset. So this is one of the classic examples that I've spoken in this book, that sometimes you think you know people, but you probably don't. The lesson here is Sam and Lisa have known each other for over 10 years, but then they lost touch. So Sam probably thought that Lisa was still the same person, but Lisa was not. Lisa told him he was looking for a job. Sam talked to his manager and Lisa was hired. And then he told something to Lisa in confidence. What does Lisa do? Lisa goes and tells the manager and Sam loses his job. Okay? So those are some of the common workplace betrayals that happen every day. So guys, what is the life lesson here? The life lesson is go to work, do your job, and go home. Don't get into workplace politics. Just go do your job and go home. Full stop. Don't get into small talk. Don't get into anything, because there are things that you might tell your colleagues at work in confidence. There is no guarantee. There are things that you might tell your friend that you've lost touch with, especially when you've lost touch. Don't make assumption that the people are still the same. People change. People change. Okay? So anyways, that is it for now. I don't want this video to be so long, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.